Right. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo. There we go. It's painting goo. It's fucking goo. Painting me, painting you. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Oh. Is that a capo? The answer to that question was hi. Sip sip. Oh. Painting goo goo goo. Painting goo. Oh. It's painting goo. Hi. Painting goo. Painting me, painting you. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Oh. I Spiner knows its timer. Painting goo. 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 Painting goo. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting fucking goo. It's painting fucking goo. It's painting goo. Hi. Painting goo. Painting goo. Painting goo. Let's bring it home, Myro. Painting goo. Goo 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 goo. Remind these 30 mortars what the meaning of beauty is. It's painting goo. Pray that piano, you petrified primate, you. Painting goo. It's painting goo. It's faking goo. Oh, so beautiful. Every time, you mischievous monkey, you make me weep with your beautiful piano playing. But it's not enough to make me pay him. So, you must pay for painting goo, so the monkey doesn't die. Welcome to painting goo. As you can see, it's another glorious day. The magnificent light of heaven shines brightly upon painting goo yet again. Why? Because despite being banished from Chinese heaven, I am a steer blessed by the gods. Or the other gods. You know? Because Chinese heaven may have a monopoly on many things, but it doesn't have a monopoly on deities. So, on today's painting goo. Oh, my mistake. My mistake. On today's painting goo, we return to Zimbabwe, Africa, for the umpteenth time. I mean, how funny is that shit? The amount of times I complained about Africa. Fuck Africa. I don't want to go to Africa again. I'm sick of Africa. And then, in a bitch fit of rage, I put myself in a situation where I am going to end up going to Africa so much more than I would have if I didn't have anger issues. 109 on the counting goo. 109? Oh. Every single time. Not funny. What's not funny? 109 and the count. What, like, it's not funny like how they've been kicked out of every single fucking place. Are you still in the you're still in the fuck the Jews phase, Griff? I think it's pretty evident that like Griff still has it out for the Jews. Griff's on that part of his truther journey where he's just like, yeah, I get it, but still the Jews though. Your man Pruner's like that. Bless him. I fucking love Pruner, but I thought that was funny. Oh, Africa's not funny. Africa's hilarious. Africa's hilarious, it is. What's not funny is, well, I suppose you could argue it would be funny to experience it from a third-person perspective. But what's not funny is me losing losing the rag and fucking destroying 2 paintings and the map. In a fit of rage. Another way of saying rage is rage, which, you know, kind of sounds like reggae, but rage sounds to me a lot more like raw gay. And that just reminds me of that Fuentes guy, you know. I think the amount of gay coming off that Fuentes guy is raw. It's purple. Oh, God. I'm quite stuffy today. Maybe it's the pollen. Did you say something, female? No? Okay. Oh, God. Oh, my spina definitely knows it's time. Okay. Tunes, where are the tunes? Here, Raggy! I love wordplay. Wordplay is just fucking hilarious. Phonetics, sounds, vibrations of the vocal cords. Producing many funnies. Right. We know where we are going. But what will we going?
I love you, bye.
I love you too, female. The female distracted me with her beauty, and my mind is now blank. Right, yes. Mountain tent shower. Which, the more I say it, actually is hilarious, because, like, you know, it just makes you think of having to take a shower, like, outside your tent in a mountain, which would be cool. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, imagine you stepped out of your tent and this was the vista you were presented with, and then you just had some kind of, like, you know, gravity powered shower hanging from the tree or something, like, you know, that'd be epic as fuck. Oh, God. I feel another Gepu coming. Oh, Christ. Right. As you can see, I have no caffeine. I am on the agua. I've had 1 cup of coffee. And a while ago I had a can of Monster. So even though I've only had 1 cup of coffee, I've probably had like 6 cups of coffee. Because that stuff is fucking rocket fuel. But it hasn't really kicked in yet. So, once my chi gets flowing and the tunes are playing, we shall engage the goo. Oh, I was doing my qigong earlier, trying to loosen up the kinks, you know. And by God, my glutes are in a state. My glutes are in a coma. Never mind being asleep. My glutes are in a fucking coma. They're that bad. I need to do like a lot of back bridges or something and like properly engage your glutes. I find when I squat, I really just like work my quads more than anything. I don't really feel it in my glutes, you know. So I'm trying to do a few things. I'm trying to go back to the martial arts side of things and just do like leg raises and stuff like that, and like deep stretches and lunges and stuff to really get the glutes firing. My ass muscles. I have a flabby ass. I have a pasty Irish flabby ass at the moment from years of just sitting on it playing video games. It's my own fault. Ugh. But not being into aesthetics because I'm not a gay. Attempting to attain functional strength eventually does actually lead someone like myself who suffers from slightly poor posture and shit to having to strengthen your glutes because your ass muscles are very important. They keep you upright, you know. A strong ass supports a strong lower back. Africa is as funny as going on a brown bender in Liberia and unloading your beat to shit AK into the first ethnic minority you see. If you're into that kind of African humor. The fuck were you born with, Hank Hill ass? What's Hank Hill? What the fuck? Is this guy Hank known for having a like a particularly flat ass? Men are allowed to have flat asses, you know? When it comes to men, it's all about the arms and the pecs. We all know this. Arms, pecs, shoulders, strong upper back, all that shit. That's what makes you look masculine, you know. The women get the asses and the thighs. Unless you got that Puerto Rican booty like fucking Demon Hunter Bear. El Desmondo there has a fucking Puerto Rican booty, allegedly. Big fat fucking sweaty wet back ass on him. What am I typing in here? Hank Hill. Oh my god, like fucking from King of the Hill. Oh man, I'd forgotten about King of the Hill. King of the Hill was fucking funny. King of the Hill was fucking funny. Oh god. Oh, I'm not really awake yet. I stayed up far too late last night. Right. I must shake loose the rust from my chi and get it throwing. One thing I noticed actually is frog ass. Wouldn't frogs have don't frogs have like that doesn't compute in my mind. Frogs have huge, really strong legs. Wouldn't they have like a huge arse to like go with that? Like, hold on a minute. Now I'm gonna. This is like some of the gayest shit I've ever spoken about ever on this stream for like fucking. Talking about Fuentes has infected me with gay. I was like talking about fucking frogs' asses. Oh god. Watch King of the Hill, you'll get it. Yeah, I remember King of the Hill. I don't remember much of it. Like, it's not something I actually watched, you know, like, I just remembered it. I think its humor was too mature, I think, for when I was aware of it. Like, I was just watching The Simpsons, and, like, I was of the age that a lot of the stuff in The Simpsons flew right over my head, you know, like, frog ass. if people ever check if my... Oh my god! It's like I've discovered a new fucking, like, a new avenue of fucking freaky porn or something. Oh my god, that's actually hilarious. Everybody do yourself a favor and just type in frog ass into Google and go, oh my god. It's like frogs doing OnlyFans. Oh my god, those images are so fucking funny. That is the ass of, like, a really, like, you know when you see a morbidly obese person and, like, their, like, fucking trousers are, like, they're not wearing the right size of shit, like, do you know what I mean? And, like a builder's crack. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is foul looking. Man, you weren't wrong. Like, fucking frog ass is nasty. Man, frog ass is some fucking, like, that's some nasty shit. Is this like a meme? What the fuck? Like, there's people doing, like, cartoons and stuff. Oh my god, what the fuck? This is the most random shit ever. Oh god. Okay, that woke me up. I'm, like, literally crying right now. I didn't expect those images. Do you know? I thought it was going to be some, like, National Geographic, just like a picture of a frog from a certain angle. No, those things are, like, posing. Welcome to Only Frogs. It's gone from, like, furries to, like, people are just like, fuck, man, I want me some frog ass, man. Like, you know, like, oh god, oh, that's nasty. Oh god, I'm crying. I've got Barbie cheeks right now. I can't stop smiling. Oh my god. Oh, that was funny. I wasn't expecting that at all. That's the most random shit I've ever put into Google. Frog ass. I'm sorry. Oh god, I'm crying. Oh. Griff's last comment is just nah. The male version of Brie Larson. Do you remember that? Do you remember when everybody was giving Brie Larson shit for having no ass? Oh man, that was fucking hilarious. They put her in the fucking Captain Marvel suit, like, and there's just, like, pictures of her from behind and everyone being like, oh my god, like, bitch has no ass. Like, it is though, it's a crime. If you're female and you've no arse, straight to jail. Straight to jail. It's a fucking crime. It's a crime against humanity to be female and not have an ass. What's wrong with you? Do some squats. Fuck a bitch. Okay. Sip, sip. Oh, fuck. Oh, that was funny. Okay. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I noticed that... So the synthwave shit I've been playing for a few streams. This stuff. These two. So if I play this, right? There's no copyright on that. And like I've said before, I've seen, like, these playlists pop up. Like, I was just like, I'm never arsed, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I drop in, I do Painting Goo, and then I fuck off. Which just makes it all the more impressive that I wing all of this shit in front of you for 2 hours a day. Oh, bless me. Oh, that was a glorious Gepu. Citrus. Brie Larson has jacked feet. Only reason I know is Friday Night Tights. Excuse me? Okay, I'm Googling this.
Brie Larson has jacked feet. Oh my fucking god, what is today? Brie Larson. Jacked feet. Oh my fucking god. When you said jacked, I thought you meant like they were like really muscular, like a Street Fighter character or some shit. Holy shit. That is disgusting. That is fucking rank. She has the feet of an 80-year-old invalid. Good old Reddit. Brie Larson's feet are fucked up. Oh my god. Apparently she does have a fungal toenail infection. If you want proof that it is not genetic, you should Google image. Man, Reddit is fucking wild. Oh god. The past hour of my day has just been fucking wild. The female came home for lunch there, like, and told me a story about work. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god. Oh my god. She has like skinny white trash old man feet. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not into feet, like, do you know what I mean? Like I don't have, like, an aversion to them either. Feet are feet, like, you know, you use them, like, they're your feet. May as well be your hands on your legs, like, do you know, I don't give a fuck, like, I'm not one of those, like, feet, like Dave Chappelle, and I'm also not one of those, like, weak, feeble people that are like, oh my god, feet, and they start, like, dry heaving. But, god damn, those are some grotesque feet. They're really horrible looking. Like, that's really bad, like if I was her, I never would have shown my feet in public, like, do you know what I mean? That has to be part of the fucking that has to be part of her humiliation ritual or something. Is like when they had her on the casting couch, they were like, Brie, we've noticed that you've, like, fucking the feet of a fucking Hagraven from bleeding Skyrim or some shit, like, so we're gonna take a lot of pictures and, like, post them all over the internet, you know. That's gonna be a thing if you want those millions, like, you know. That is grotesque. I need to cleanse my mind palette of that. That is fucking unreal. Like, that bitch has, like, not only has she not got an ass, that's just, I'm nearly there. Like, part of me wants to dry heave. What was I saying? Right. Yeah, this shit. The copyright stuff. I wonder if it'll actually make a difference. But I'm gonna try and, like, for maybe like a week straight, I'll try and get all the Painting Goose streams with no copyright on them, which means I'll have to find really heavy metal that has no copyright for the Conanator stuff. But then I can use the same metal for Metal Moose every Monday for the next few weeks, and then the synthy stuff I can just do Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So it shouldn't be too hard to figure out, because you can literally just, like, type in, like, you know, music, no copyright, playlists, whatever, and you can just, like, find loads of shit. But it does kind of suck that I can't just, like, because, you know, there's those, like, I'm in flow times where I'm like, oh, I want to listen to this tune, like, you know, and it's a nice flow to be able to do that and shit, like, but I'm just curious. I'm curious to see what happens. She's a few steps away from being a literal hag raven. Yeah, man, like, she's like, fucking, I was genuinely surprised by that. And it's also hilarious because I genuinely did think that Stabaru was like saying that like her feet are like really muscular or some shit like that. Like, no, they're like really fucked up. Like, Brie Larson makes me feel like I have immaculate feet, and I do not. Alright, so we'll just play this for the moment. And because I'm not going to test it now. I might have like oversaturated the Paintingu Tshirts playlist. Amount of shit I have in it now, like like everything from fucking like I have the Bloodborne soundtrack. I have the fucking epic piano that like Myro plays at the start. I've like Disturbed and fucking Japanese funk and all this shit. And fucking Whitechapel, like. Oh god, this shit's hilarious. But yeah, I've been really liking this shit the last few weeks, and I'm pretty sure you guys have too, because I've heard no complaints. So we're gonna stick with this for the moment. I might go back to Ravingu as well at some point. But I don't know if I don't think that triggers the copyright. It might though. But I just noticed it when I was managing the videos. Because I went into the manager earlier on this morning when I was doing some administration work, you know, because I'm trying to be a professional. Because I just said a new Paintingu for the Metal Moose episode. So I had to change it to like, you know, Metal Moose, because I don't want them like I'm such a mess, you know, with all this shit. Like, so many episodes have just been wiped, you know, fucking. I don't think I have the original first episode of Paintingu. Maybe it's on Instagram or something, I don't know. But I don't really care. It's not about that shit for me, you know. I'm not about that shit. Ugh. Ugh. Paint. Oh. Oh, I'm very stiff today. And no, not in that kind of way. Right. Zimbabwe. We already have our mountain. So that's done. We need a tent and a shower. So I'm going to put the tent in first. Methinks I'm going to place it around this tree here. Just looks like it just makes sense. It'd look good there. Part of me is thinking it'd be funny to do like a giant shower coming out of the fucking mountain or something. I mean, this is Paintingu. It's supposed to be funny as fuck. There's nothing funny about this, it's just gorgeous. I mean, look at it, it's fucking beautiful. It's not funny. The hat really fucked me this time. What was the last one? Marshall Islands. Hat fucked me that time too. Just some bitch with an umbrella wearing Uggs. She wasn't even wearing the Uggs, was she? No. Who the fuck holds their Uggs on a piece of string? I don't know. What was I thinking? Ugh. Tobias! My chi needs cleansing. My feathery friend. Ugh. Vibrations. Knock loose my rusty chi. Okay.
Painting goo, 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 goo.
Let me think. Painting goo, goo, goo. Right. I place my royal rag upon my divine knee in preparation for the goo. And then I get my bitches wet. These are my bitches. Oh. Some of my bitches are very dry and stiff. This is not good. I'm gonna have to give all of these like a boiling one of these days. Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. No, yeah, this one. Oh. Right. Don't think about it too much. Oh, glorious. Do not think. Just goo. Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. I love this feeling, like now that there's already paint on it, and because of the type of paint it is, it leaves that like very smooth, frictionless finish. So like when you put more paint on it, it's just glides across it like butter. It's glorious. Painting goo goo. Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. I'm gonna put the entrance like here. Now what am I gonna do about the shower? Part of me was thinking of put it coming out of the tree or something. Another part of me was thinking I could just put a shower here. Put a monkey having a shower or something. He's like washing his back with one of them brushes. Painting goo 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 goo. This stuff could use more white, like Europe. Painting goo 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 goo. It's pronounced Wig Chappelle. It's painting goo 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 goo. Okay. Part of me just wants to put fucking Star Destroyer in the sky or something. The scope of the sky is quite large. You could put a big starship in the sky or some shit. Like, we have a repeat of the fucking Xenoboon thing. I'll just put the Xenoboon like coming out of the tree. Just like fucking Alright, we got a grey. Painting goo 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 goo. Painting goo 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 goo. I believe I have a grey. No, that's black. Where's my greys? That's grey. This is grey. This grey has fucking aqua green in it. You can see that much. It's very goopy. It's not runny at all. Painting goo goo. Doo 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 doo. Doo 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 doo. I don't make the rules. I just make shit up as I go. I don't make the rules, and I don't follow them either. Painting goo goo. Doo 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 doo. This painting goo has a severe lack of nonsense and third world dictators. I think Mugabe would appreciate Star Destroyers. I know, like, I can't, like, I miss the. I know Stabaru was right with his criticism that some of the painting goos were like just like convoluted as fuck, but that's kind of why I liked them. Like, you know, like I like the chaos of them. Like I literally have a painting goo of like a Chinese knockoff version of Mario and Luigi shooting a bunch of fucking like demon fairy things in a Middle Eastern village where a troll is buying porn from a fucking like turban donned shopkeeper. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and then fucking what's that nigga's name again? Gaddafi? Was it Gaddafi? The one I did on the wall? It's hilarious. What shape? Painting goo 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 goo. Part of me was thinking I could do a shower head. A giant shower head or something. No, part of me wants to do like a fucking really like imposing looking thing. Let me think. Slightly modified Star Destroyer shape. Let's see how this goes. Need a slightly darker grey. My favorite part. Yeah, so good news about Space Marine 2 and Black Myth Wukong and all in the last few weeks, but unfortunately, apparently they've completely and utterly destroyed the remake of Dead Rising, which sucks because that first Dead Rising is one of my favourite games ever. But yeah, apparently they've completely gayified it and done all sorts of fucking stupid woke shit to the remaster of Dead Rising, which is just fucking blasphemy in my opinion. Utter fucking blasphemy. Can't win them all. But you can damn sure try and win most of them. See? That's already savage looking. Pay for Paintingu, if you have any honor. Think of something, and I shall paint it. I challenge you. Somebody's like... What's one of those real like fucking old school oil painters like? Like fucking some Reddit troll would be like, you know, replicate Rembrandt's fucking depiction of Christ on the cross or some shit. And then I'd just like look it up on Google and do a cartoon version of it, like do a speech bubble that just says "fuck Jews" or something, like I don't know. Like, I've always had that like contrarian side to me, where like if somebody tries to like fuck with me, I just fuck with them 10 times more, like, you know. I remember I once played chess with he's basically my step grandfather, like my grandmother on my ma's side remarried. I never got to meet my ma's actual father, but I was playing chess with this guy. What age was I? Early teens, probably. And he was beating me, and I had essentially lost. Like, you know, all I had left was a few pawns. I think I had maybe one knight and my king, and he had most of his pieces. But I kept figuring out a way to get out of check every time he put me in check, and we literally moved like all over the board at one point, like. And he started laughing because he was just like, "You're very good at that." Like, just squirming out of the way of death. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't get me, you can't get me. Like, you're like that kind of like, "You'll never take me alive." Like that kind of attitude. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, no, you can't check me. You have to checkmate me. You know what I mean? Because if there's a way out, I'll fucking find it. Like. That kind of James T. Kirk attitude, like, there's no such thing as an unwinnable scenario, you know, which is, I think that's the attitude to have, you know. I think that's faith, you know, is to genuinely believe, you know, and be like, no, there's no way you know, not that there's no way you can lose, but to not believe in that kind of ultimatum of like, you know, oh, there's no way you can win this. It's like, well, you may not be able to win it, and even I may not be able to win it, but somebody somehow could. There's always a way. There's always a way. Like, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. I do believe that. Like, the same reason why the placebo effect works, I think, is the same reason why, like, you can, like, if you have enough willpower and the right, like, attitude towards things, I think you can, like, do pretty much anything. We need a no cat eating sign, even though it's Africa, just cause everyone needs a good reminder once in a while that we don't eat pets. I know this isn't Haiti, but you know, I require a no cat eating sign. Like a fucking banner that says "Leave the kitties alone" or something. Like, I could do it. Like, I could do a speech bubble coming out of the ship. You know, like, "Attention, citizens of Africa. This is the Imperium. Cease and desist all feline eating, or you will be vaporized." Oh god. How fucking funny would that be if that happened, or like something similar to like whatever about aliens invading? What would happen if like could you imagine, right, if a big huge spaceship looking thing showed up over, you know, Latin America somewhere, and like Argentina or some shit, like, you know. And it just has this giant, it just blatantly looks Nazi. Like, do you know what I mean? It's got like a big red streak on it. It's jet black, or it's like, no, it's like got a big red streak on it. It's like gunmetal grey, and it has a big black swastika on it, like, and just these huge megaphones like are blaring out of the thing, and it's just like, citizens of Earth, this is the Fifth Reich. We have returned to establish order. Like, there'd be loads of us there like, oh, thank fuck. Like, it's like, the gay horde must be stopped. Warhammer was the last straw. This blatant blasphemy will not be tolerated. I mean, if people can make Wolfenstein... Do you ever play the Wolfenstein games? They're fucking hilarious. They're good shooters too. I really like the one on the 360. I thought it was a great shooter. They're decent fucking shooters. But like, they literally make the... Like, if you can make the Nazis out to be like legit genocidal maniacs and use that as a justification to do all sorts of horrible shit to Nazis. Painting goo, 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 goo. Then you should be able to do it the other way around, like, you know. Somebody should be able to make a video game, like, to that, like, you know, a developer like that. Was it like id Software? Who makes Wolfenstein? It's id, isn't it? Or Bethesda. Bethesda makes Wolfenstein, and they make like Fallout and fucking Doom Eternal and all, like, you know. So why can't they make a game about like Jews secretly having like a world fucking, you know, cabal or some shit, like, do you know what I mean? Like, the very fact that you stop people from exploring certain ideas or theories or concepts tells anyone with a functioning brain, it's like, oh, hold on, what do you mean? Like, so you're the authority on this? Like you're telling me that if I express this opinion or delve into this potentially hypothetical, whether it is or not true, like, you know, I can't even ponder it, I can't even experiment with the idea, I can't even, like, you know, express it without you essentially deeming me a criminal or something. Like, I heard this morning that fucking Trump was talking about making anti-Semitism a fucking death penalty thing. Like, what? like, don't get me wrong, I know the world is like fucking 10 shades of fucking shit crazy right now. I mean, like, fucking Canada is like euthanizing its citizens. Do you know, I heard the stats I heard on that recently are fucking insane, right? More people have been euthanized by the Canadian government in the past few years than have died in car crashes. That's fucking wild, man. That's fucking wild. Find a way or make one. Good motto for life. And a decent Amin Armath song. Cats are friends, not food. I love that scene. Fish are friends, not food. It's fucking brilliant. Hello, Brucey, the shark and all, like. Fucking the way Finding Nemo's animated, like, beautiful. The shapes, the details, like, and all, like, excellent, like. And, like, I tell that to my sister every time that, like, she texts me and she's, like, stressed out or something. I'm just like, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Like, I genuinely think that is actually, like, a really good rule for life, and it's from fucking Finding Nemo, like, you know. It's such a good attitude. Like, a lot of life, in terms of like, you know, not being depressed and having joy and being happy and all, like over a long period of time and shit, like, you know, being in quotes happy. A lot of it is simply like your perspective and attitude on things, you know. And somebody who's like in a depressive state typically can't make that, like they're not aware of that, they can't realize that. I've been there, you know, because you're in the storm, all you see is the storm, you know. It's only once you're out of the storm that you're like, oh, there's all this beautiful shit here. But again, that's where like faith comes in, you know. Like if you're in the storm and you can't see anything but the storm, it's like you have to have an internal connection to something outside the storm that you can have faith in. It's like a tether that tethers you, but it's like a little string that tethers you to the, like, it's kind of like that whole kind of fucking new agey thing of like, you know, find your safe space and shit like that. It's like, which sounds really gay, but there's some truth in it, where it's like, if it's more like, I would explain it more by like the martial arts thing of like the Shaolin Taoist or whatever the fuck you want to call it, finding your center, finding your peace, the ability to, like, you know, stay calm under pressure or in a high octane or chaotic environment. You're just like still like a rock while water goes around the rock, like, do you know what I mean? There's loads of martial arts like sayings and like quotes and teachings like that where they tell you to be the rock in the river, you know. But then there's other ones where they tell you to be the water. You know, sometimes you want to be the immovable object, and then sometimes you want to be the unstoppable force. Life isn't just black or white, you know. It's all different shades of grey, and there's white, and there's black. Like, there's all of them. I was watching this thing yesterday, one of those, like, he's become very famous on YouTube the last few years. Is fucking Xingong Yi. He's like a fucking Shaolin practitioner. He's after getting huge in the last few years. These guys called the Mulligan Brothers did a documentary on him. But he has some great shit, you know, and he did a TED talk about, like, we have become weak as a species, you know. People in, you know, in our history, our ancestors, the way he puts it, is like our ancestors didn't have time to be depressed because they were busy. They were doing stuff. Then he talks about your body holding, like, you know, negative energy, and like your water can hold frequencies and patterns. Water has a memory, and you're fucking, what, 70-90% water, you know. So like, traumatic shit that happens to you needs to be processed and expelled, and most people don't even know that, let alone do it. It's crazy. It's genuinely fascinating to me. Like, when I was watching that, Owen put that video on of Pete. Owen put that video on of the Jews and like all the Yiddish stuff, where they have like their own toys, their own food, their like everything you can think of, their own condiments, their own like everything, fucking everything, like house appliances, like fucking everything, the kitchen sink, like all made by them, all for them, all made in their own way, all catered to them, like with their ideology and their culture and blah 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 blah. That is so cool. You can't tell me that there wouldn't be like a fuck ton of people around the world of all shapes, sizes, IQ levels, creeds, religions, groups. Like, there's loads of people out there that would look at that and be like, that's awesome. That's so cool that they do that. That's so cool for them. Must be nice. Like, do you know what I mean? In the good way, it's like, that's cool, that's awesome. But like, nobody fucking does that. Like, apart from them, like, do you know what I mean? Or the fucking Mormons or something. Like, nobody fucking does that. The Bears kind of do it. That's why I love being a part of this community. Like, do you know what I mean? Being in a group of people that like they do stuff. Do you know what I mean? I love that. Like, that's the way to be. It's like, can you do it? Yes. Should you do it? Yes. Well, then fucking do it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, none of these, like, you know, oh, we need this and then we need that. It's like, but like, even if you have to start small, just fucking do it. Like if a fucking, you know, basically like a school, like I didn't drop out of school, but I like threw away my leaving cert and stuff. Like, you know, like I sat the exams, but I didn't even write anything down. I just fucking threw it all away. Like I'm basically like a school dropout from a divorced family, like, and shit. Like, you know, fucking smoked a load of weed, played video games, had a few jobs, but like, it's like, if I can attempt to be a like independently professional artist, like, anybody can do anything. Like, it's just choice. That's all it is. Like, you know, it's mind-boggling to me how, like, well, again, it is and it isn't, but I was about to say it's mind-boggling to me how, like, people who are blessed with like more resources, more access to to resources and stuff, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, people who are well off or whatever like that, like, it's fascinating to me how that can actually make them not only worse people, but it can, like, it really is, in life it appears that less is more, you know? You don't need all this superficial shit. You just need a few fundamental things. And right now, what I need is some orange. But not that kind of orange. I want a bright orange. A fucking gay orange. Painting goo-goo. Bright orange. There's my yellows. Painting goo-goo. Painting goo-goo. Painting goo-goo. I could just leave that like that and it looks awesome. I don't even need to properly paint that fucking thing. How cool is that? That's what I love about art, is like, a lot of the times you don't actually need to, like, you know, oh my god, it must take so much skill to, like, do that. It's like, not really, no. I mean, like, you know, if you understand how shit works to a level, you can just give the impression that something is there just by, like, going, like, on, like, you know, like, just, like, splash on a bit of paper or canvas, like, at the right angle, in the right way, with the right color. And he'd be like, look, a starship. Like, it's fucking awesome. Thank you, Google. I want it to be nice and bright. Cool. I suppose this will do. I suppose if I put the door there, darken it naturally. I was watching some colour theory stuff the other day, and, like, seriously, the way colours work is fascinating. The way if you could have one colour, say, like, or like two colours, say like a green man wearing a brown t-shirt, but then if you put an orange background to them, like, you know, or a red background or a blue background, it will, your eye will adjust the colour of certain things. It's mad, like. I seriously think being an artist is like, it's it's one of the most intense like things to try and do, but at the same time it's like one of the most natural and easiest things to do. Weird. It's like one of those things. It's like what's it? Easy to get to grips. Easy to learn, but hard to master. Maybe, I don't know. I just find it like incredibly entertaining and eye-opening in a lot of ways. I was thinking there the other day that, like, you know, trying to use PEINTEINGU as like a way to, like, you know, get people doing art, you know, encouraging people to get into painting and creating and stuff. Would definitely, it'd be something I'd be interested in. Like, part of me was thinking of trying to make it more, like, you know, PG and like applicable to children and stuff, but oh man, I'd find that really difficult. My verbal tics, like, you know, like I'm a scumbag in a lot of ways. Like, we all know I'm a nigger. Hey. Let us not speak falsely. It's so funny. My sister was like, oh, was it my sister or was it the female? Oh yeah, the female was telling me a story about when she was on holiday with her family, like her sisters and her mother. But she was talking to this guy out in a smoking area, and he was black, like, you know, and she was like, oh yeah, my fiance has a stream and stuff, and like sometimes he says, like, he's always saying nigger and stuff like that and all, like. And the guy turned around to her and he was like, yeah, but like, is he black? Is he ginger? And she was like, he is, he's ginger. Like, and he was like, yeah, well then, like, that's why he can do that. Like, I remember her coming back from the holiday and she was like, I thought it was so funny because I didn't expect that reaction. Like, you know, but that's what I think is hilarious, is that my reality, like, I've met black guys for the first time in my life, and then turned around to the guy that introduced the black fella to me, and I've been like, I like this nigga, and the black fella's been like, I like this nigga. Like, this nigga can say nigga and it doesn't sound weird. I like this nigga. But it's because it's got nothing to do with being black. Like, we just said that shit because we used to watch black comedies. Bunch of white kids, like white teenagers, saying nigga, 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 nigga. Like, because we watch like Friday and fucking, you know, like a black stand-up and stuff, like, do you know what I mean? And we loved it, like. And then, like, we'd start calling each other nigga, like, do you know what I mean? We played video games together, like, fucking, like, you got ammo, nigga? What you got in my 40, homie? Like, it's just. And the fact that people would be like, oh my god, that's. You're like, that's so offensive. That's so, like, how is that offensive that I find such entertainment and like joy and like I like another culture so much that I want to emulate it. That's like the complete opposite of what you people are trying to infer. Like, do you know what I mean? Well, that means you're this. It's like, but it literally means the opposite. Like, you inverted fuck up. Like, oh god. It's like, I laugh so much these days. Not that I didn't used to laugh before, but these days I laugh heartily at like witnessing how blissfully retarded and unaware people are. And it's not because I'm like, you know, oh, I'm so intelligent. Like, I think I'm retarded. Like, in a lot of ways I am, like, do you know what I mean? Like, but like, I've literally had other people been like, no, yeah, you're smart. And I'm like, yeah, but am I though? Because like, I don't know, maybe that's the marker of like, of someone who's intelligent. I don't know. I don't think I don't know enough. You know, like, I have a decent processing speed. You know, I have an above average processing speed and an ability to like comprehend complex systems. Like, do you know what I mean? But I know fuck all. Like, that's why I love watching like those playlists like Investigating Babylon, where it's just hours and hours and hours and hours of some guy just like saying stuff, you know, about something. Like I love working and info just being like passively like dumped into my mind, like, ugh. Neck is so itchy. That's easily the worst one of those things I've ever had. It's nearly gone though. You can feel it. It's nothing compared to what it was. Thank fuck. I have a beautiful female who tends to my wounds. Their skin is black, therefore cat eating takes place. What did PP call that? Logic inference? I can't remember. Yeah, it's like, I'm still watching that stream. It's fucking funny though. The picture of the guy from the Village People beside Fuentes, and it's like corporate wants you to find the difference. And it's the fucking memes. The memes get me, like, whatever about like actual joke premises and stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? When I see a meme that's really good, that's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like, oh, God. Painting. Painting. Oh, glorious! Grey is very watery. Very watery grey. More. What'll that do? Some of them are really watered down, and then some of them are nice and goopy. To be honest, I prefer the in between. The buttery smooth yet still opaque. But because I am a retard, I did not label them. So experimentation is required. This is definitely a better grade though. Some of these are way worn down. Give me. 12 months. No, not you. Yeah, you. Good old burnt sienna. It's a good chimpanzee monkey color. Oh shit, I squirted too much! How dare I? I wasn't ready. Right, come here to me, you. Make a monkey out of you. Painting goo goo goo. Painting goo goo goo. Painting goo goo goo. want that kind of beige colour for his hands and his mouth. What's this called? Jaune Brilliant. This to me screams that exact, almost that exact shade. Painting goo, 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 goo. Painting goo, 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 goo. Painting goo. It happens to the best of us. Dry, you fuck. You have literally never seen paint dry like this before. Pay for painting you, or you have no honor. Painting goo, 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 goo. Painting goo, goo, doo, 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 doo. Painting goo, 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 goo. I don't know what it is, but there's something about monkeys. I love them. They're hilarious. Also, the idea of a chimpanzee taking a shower after staying a night in a tent with a Star Destroyer floating in the background in Africa. I mean, just like, how funny would it be if there was like a movie or a cartoon series about the last monkey? It was like living as like a like a hunter-gatherer man style, like tent, simple tech, hunting and gathering and stuff like that. Like, and then in the distance you can see the cities of man that have become like wild or something. That'd be kind of, it's vague. It sounds stupid, but like I could see something funny with that. Like, it's just like thousands of years into the future or something, like, or even just hundreds or something. Like, at this rate you can make it 2050. The year is 2050. Baboonicus chaficus is the last remaining monkey. Science led the humans to eradicating most of the animals on the planet. just some like mental storyline that gives you the excuse to have a monkey having a shower. Like, just love the image of a chimp. You know, like, you just see a tent on a mountainside in an epic vista, you know, and then the tent zip opens and a fucking chimp steps out. You'd just be like, what the fuck? And then he starts having a shower. Like, that would just make you laugh. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would make you laugh. There's no way about it. Like, if you saw like a monkey just like get out of a tent and then just like have a shower. Oh. Little shower cap on him and all, like, you know, and then like the scrubbing brush and shit. Like, it'd be hilarious. Paintingu. 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 Oh, gross! I have so many colors. Like, on a level, it's awesome that I had the foresight to like save all this shit in little tubs so I didn't waste a ton of really expensive paint. But on the other hand, it's like a form of overwhelming chaotic mess. Although it's actually not that chaotic, there's just a lot of it. Neutral grey 8. Is this neutral grey 7? Which one's darker? The 7? Straight from the tube. I like it raw. Right, give me a... Yeah, that'll do. I need a pale bathroom blue for his little scrubby brush. I'd watch that. I'd watch that. That's all my art is I think of shit in my head that'd make me laugh, and then I share it with people, you know. Painting, goo, goo, goo. I find that like it really is like that you can't force things. Like when I try to think of something funny, it's much more difficult than if you just like allow something funny to enter your mind. It's weird. There is a difference, you know. There's a major difference between being in tune and then, you know, trying to do something. It's weird, like I can imagine if I tried really hard at this stream, it would probably come across like really, I don't know, just like fake and gay, like, you know. Like I'll go host streams where I'm not in character, like, do you know what I mean? And then I'll go like a whole fucking like 15 minutes or half hour, like just LARPing as a Japanese demigod, like. You really, you just have to, you have to feel it, you know. Don't force it, feel it. You could even have all the characters speak only in chimpish, but with subtitles at the bottom. Yeah, like that'd be yeah, exactly. Yeah. like, and it's like you can have like really like intellectual conversations. It's just two chimps like, and it's like, and they're having like really high level, you know, like talking about like some intense gravy or something. Like, one's having a shower, like one's fucking like making noodles or something, like, you know, or like frying an egg, like, and they're like arguing over something intense, like some kind of philosophical, you know, dilemma or some shit. Like, there's just a fucking cyberpunk metropolis in the background with a floating city above it or some shit, like, and these two are just camped, you know, 100 miles outside the walls. Just you'd be sitting there going, what is this? What's the setup to this storyline? All I see is two monkeys having a conversation. Like, what the fuck? Two older monkeys in the background playing chess or something, like, like, it is and it isn't, like, difficult to create, like, it's, there's a skill and a craft that is, like, you know, I know fuck all about, in making jokes and, like, stand-up comedy. But in terms of just making something, like, especially as, like, a visual thing, or, like, a theme, that'll just make you laugh, like, that's not nowhere near as difficult, and, like, infinitely more variable, because you're working with visual and audio, like, cues and stuff, that, like, there's, like, way more to work with, you know, instead of just it just being you with a microphone and your voice, and depending on other people's ability to imagine things and comprehend things in their mind, you can just show them something funny and then add an audio, you know. It's a completely different thing, like. And, like, I've always had an aptitude for that, like, remember at school, we were, like, you know, doing really basic storyboarding and comic books and stuff. Like, real fundamental shit, like, just panels. And, I just did this, like, floating head dude, walking up to a cave. And then, like, you know, having that inquisitive look on his eyes. And then him inside the cave. So it was just black with a pair of eyes, you know? And then the next one was him after, like, flipping a lighter. And now he could see the inside of the cave. And it just, like, real simple shit. But it was, like, funny looking because it looks funny, you know? Because it's, like, it's not a really well drawn, fine art style, realistic male human walking up to a cave and then having an inquisitive look and then going in and then, like, you know, turning a light on or whatever. You have this, like, cartoonish floating head with funny hair floating up to a cave, or, like, bouncing up to a cave, and then, like, has an exaggerated inquisitive look. So there's, like, parts of your brain that get, like, activated by, like, simply the fact that he doesn't look right. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, he's hilarious looking. You know, like, why is he hilarious looking? Because you can still tell that it's, like, a dude, but, like, he's just a floating head, like, and funny looking hair, like, kind of like Rayman or something, like, you know? I do and don't know why I understand half the things I understand about something being funny. Like, when I try to just be, like, be 100%, like, honest and articulate it as best as I can, I think it's because I just instinctively really like really funny shit, and I have, like, a internal memory of, like, all the funny shit that I've ever seen, so I just, like, pull from that, you know? Looney Tunes, like, everything from cartoons to, like, Mrs. Doubtfire or something, like, you know, like the Ace Ventura movies, that just anything that's ever made me laugh, I have, like, screenshots of it in my head, and I can just pull from that and then put my own twist on it. So it's like, if this is funny and this is funny, then this plus this would be, like, you know, even funnier, you know? But then you get into, like, niche humor that, like, only certain people would understand. Like, in-group jokes and stuff. And the fact that it's like niche, you know, like the fact that you need to be aware of certain concepts or themes in order to get the joke, can actually make it funnier, you know, because like men probably experience this a lot, where like, and women too, I suppose, but it's like, you know, you find something really funny because it's something to do with a video game or some shit like that, like, you know, and then you turn around to your missus because she's like, what are you laughing at? And you're like, this, but it's like, you know, you're not gonna think it's funny, you won't get it, like, you know. And it's like, she's done that to me, like, you know, where she's like, oh my god, this is hilarious, and then I look at it and I'm like, what's funny about this? You know, like, which I find fascinating, like, you know. It's like, if you're not aware of the data points that equal the funny, you know, then you don't find it funny, like. But that doesn't mean it's not funny. It's funny! This is one derpy looking monkey. I was trying to visualize, it's like, where will I place the mouth to enhance the derp? It's even thinking something like that while creating, you know, you're creating something, you're like, okay, this monkey's pretty retarded looking, but how can I make him more retarded looking? Like, the fact that one of my favourite creations over the last few years is a retarded looking chicken. Not the spacefaring, you know, multicolored afro donned fucking pump action space shotgun wielding duck, you know, intergalactic duck. No, not that. The retarded chicken. Like, I take great pride in my retarded chicken. That makes a lot of noise. Oh, gross. I will refrain from using the stool as a pallet, because wiping it down is a foul noise. I can only imagine what that sounds like you're in. Just a load of scratching leather. really have to be careful with this giant Star Destroyer thingy now. Because if I make it too detailed, it'll lose its coolness, like, you know, and it currently looks cool. So I must be cautious. But the monkey taking a shower is me like it. I'll have to write that down, actually. 2 acres idea for tactical penguins. I don't want to call them tactical penguins, though. We've got tactical turtles. And I think, could we do patriotic penguins? Or professional penguins? I think professional penguins would be a good one. Yeah, I don't want to detail it too much because it looks like it's, you know, in the distance obscured by exactly what you said. Like, and if I detail it too much, it'll lose its like creepy in the distance feel. So part of me like just wants to leave it like that, but I should put some hard shadows on it, which is what I'm about to do. A ghostly apparition. Say, I saw a ghost. What did you see? A giant spaceship. You know, not some girl in the corner of your room, not like your dead grandmother. No, like you saw a giant war cruiser floating above the fucking... Love from Kulok. Go on, Kulok, you bunch of rebels. Welcome to Paintingu, brother. Brother Emmanuel. Emmanuel's a unisex name, isn't it? I know it doesn't fucking sound like it, but... Yeah, I need to be careful, because when I start putting in the hard shadows, I could potentially wreck it a bit. Painting goo goo. Goo 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 goo. Goo 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 goo. I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, I could obscure it with the clouds again later. But you catch my drift. And don't worry, I'm definitely gonna put some kind of, like, giant laser beam blast decimating something. I put a single fag on the cliff right here. Like, do you imagine a Star Destroyer just shows up in orbit and is like, bong. We have found a gay. It's like some guy just like legging it for his life across an African plain. Just like, like, you cannot escape the Imperium, fag. Like, man, how funny would it be to make a movie called The Last Fag? Like, Well, I suppose no. Like, okay, let's not like I'm not starting a thing about killing gays. Like, just like that would obviously be funny. It looks spooky. It means God with us, I believe. Emmanuel. I'm Man-Yule. Emmanuel. Dunno. It's a pretty gay name. But, names are names. You could have a really gay name and be really cool, I mean, technically, I have a unisex name. Although, I don't know. Alexander, Alexandra. Just Alex. It used to bug me when I'd watch a TV show and it'd be some bitch called Alex and I'd just be like, ugh. Yeah, I love the synthy shit. The synthy shit really suits PEINTEINGU. That's why I love it. Like the 80s stuff we used to stick on. I'll stick that on again. Maybe like... What day's tomorrow? Thursday. So I'm doing Conan Air tomorrow. I'll stick it on Friday or something. I have an uncle named Gayland. It's kind of a cool name because it sounds slightly medieval. Like Brother Gayland. He has returned from his expedition, into the Badlands, where the heretics run rampant. Brother Gayland, what say you of your escapades? Ah, many gays I have slain. Okay, degenerates. You just say many degenerates I have slain. Leave the gays alone. Leave the fags alone. How funny is that the LGBT community has gone like so over the hedge, like so fucking mental, that like there's gays turning around being like, we're not with them, and then there's people that like used to rail on the gays that are now like, like it's almost like, what's that called, fucking price anchoring, where it's like, in order to get society to accept the gays, they've gone like way beyond the gay to like child mutilation, like, so that people go, okay, like, well, can we just go back to just the gays? Like, we're gonna dial it way back to just gay, like. Seriously, the drama going on right now is like crazy. For what it's worth, I'm with you all. I want everybody to be okay. I'm a painter too. Oh, cool! What do you paint? Speaking of gays. Did you ever hear about the gay magician who could make his Mickey disappear in a puff? Oh, that's a pure Irish joke. You ever hear of that gay fella? He can make his Mickey disappear in a puff. That's like a joke you hear in an Irish pub from a guy you met like at the bar. Like, I love that shit. Like, I have an uncle named Gayland. That's fucking brilliant. Uncle Gayland. And you'd have some queers that would be like, like little nerdy fuckers. Like, actually, it's Guyland. It's pronounced Guyland, which is still gay because it's a land of guys. Like, I'm sure he's a wonderful man. And you said I have an uncle, so like, that's why I'm saying I'm sure he is a wonderful man. Because I was about to be like, I'm sure he was a great man. It's like, nigga, he's still alive. My bad. Painting. Where did I put that grey? Oh, it's on. There it is. Paintingu. Paintingu. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. This is all dry. Oh, glorious Kepu. Do you have exhibitions? Not yet. Someday. Someday I will have an exhibition. Hopefully. If you want to see my stuff, I'm on Instagram as Alex Roach Art. That's AlexRocheArt, which was hilarious because Anchor Bear was like, "Who's Alex Rochart?" Which fucking had me dying laughing. Like, popped in the chat and I was like, "Sup, fam?" And he was like, "Who? Thanks, Alex Rochart." It just like, it sounds too close to shart. You know what I mean? Like when you fart and you shit at the same time. Oh god. There's loads of links in the description of the page and stuff. I have an Instagram. I have an Etsy. There's a few things on the Etsy. Most of my stuff is on Instagram. Although the last few weeks my phone has been... I didn't have a phone for a while, and now I'm using somebody else's, like my fiance's old phone. And it's a fucking pain in the hole because the mic doesn't work on it, and like the firmware doesn't sit right with Instagram now because it had, like, even though I've updated it. So for some fucking reason, every time I go to take photos of my art and put them up on Instagram now, the fucking Instagram freaks the fuck out and glitches and shit. So I'm mainly using TikTok right now. I'm on TikTok. So you can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram under the names Alex Roach or Defender Bear. Mr. Monkey is so content cooling off in his shower. I mean, there's just something hilariously cute about Monkey having a shower. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. But just seeing a chimpanzee taking a shower makes me smile. Especially when I think that he just got out of a tent. I don't know what, like, is it because it's simply the juxtaposition? You know? Because a monkey doesn't need to shower and doesn't need a tent. So if you have a monkey getting out of a fucking tent and then having a shower, it's just funny. I don't know. I don't know why things are funny. They just are. If you want to know why something's funny, ask Owen Benjamin. Painting cuckoo. We should have a show together. Find me. I will find you. And we shall speak. But I'm not going to say, you know, yeah, sure, we'll have a show. Because this is the internet and you never know who you're talking to. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm sure you're a totally fine person, you know. But as far as I'm concerned right now, you're just some randomer in my chat. So we shall speak upon this. And perhaps our artistic combination could bear fruit in a non-gay way. Did you answer my question, actually? What do you paint? No, yeah, what do you paint? What would you consider yourself to be? You one of these contemporary fuckers that thinks a banana on a wall is a work of art? You have to be careful, exactly. Oh, man, you have to be so careful these days. You have to be so careful these days. In the last few years, like, I have seen some of the craziest fucking shit I've ever seen come from people on the internet. Swear to God, like, there's some fucking crazies out there. Where will I put the sun? Is a sentence that really makes you feel like God. Where will I place the sun? Like, la la la. Like, you would like. Sometimes it's like really easy to have a small kind of a God complex when you're painting, because it's like you can literally do whatever the fuck you want. Like. Painting goo goo. Where's my lemon yellow? Painting goo goo. I need to put white down first. Oh Jesus, I'm a complete nutjob. That's a seemingly honest answer. I'm a classical fine art. Oh, you're an oil painter. Oh, I have a lot of respect for you guys. I'm terrified of trying oils. I'm always talking about it. I've only worked with watercolor and acrylic so far, and I'm like terrified of trying oils. I've heard you can, like, you know, cut down on drying times and do all sorts of cool things with like liquid mediums and stuff like that. But still, it's such an intimidating medium, in my opinion, mainly because of the drying times. Whatever about the, you know, the blending and the technique or whatever like that, like, it's the drying times, you know. A lot of my art takes long enough to fucking produce as it is, because I stream and then I paint other stuff. Like, I fucking like, how many times have it? It's actually handy that this thing is right here. So like, this is the stuff I paint while I'm on stream. It's just random cartoony funny stuff. The stuff I've actually made money off professionally is this stuff. I'm like a fucking I just call them symmetrical abstract like things, and I use sign writing brushes mainly. I use like sign writing brushes because they let you get like really clean lines and shit, you know. Like a few of my symmetricals have made people question whether or not it's actually just a printed, like, computerized image, because I've managed to get it that fucking sharp. So they're actually like what I do to like make big chunks of money. And then for the past like 2 years, I've basically been doing this stream for the lols. And roving it. Absolutely roving it. Now that doesn't mean it hasn't been stressful, don't get me wrong. There's definitely a stress to streaming, especially every day. It's tiring. It takes way more energy than you think it would. But so far, it's totally been worth it. I have a loyal posse of my beloved Japanites. And our growth has been, thankfully, slow, you know? Because I don't think I would fucking really like the stress of a shit ton of randomers coming onto my stream right now. We all remember the elf. fucking... The elf was a perfect example of like the kind of people to stay away from on the internet. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if a guy has a profile picture of a female fairy, like, massive red flag. Massive red flag. Lots of crazy people. We had someone where I live put an ad up to sell a freezer. Some people showed up to buy it, but instead they killed them. Well, like, you basically are advertising, you know, free shit to nutcases, you know. It is mad like that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, you could put an ad up that, like, you know, for example, like, you know, all the Craigslist stuff and shit like that I've heard of, like, you could innocently and, like, naively put an ad up that, like, you need somebody to, like, house sit for you while you go away on business or something for 6 months, you know? And you're essentially advertising to psychopath predators that you're not going to be around for 6 months, you know? Like, it's like even police tell you that shit, like, in certain estates and stuff, like, where it's like, let your neighbors know, like, the people you trust, if your house is going to be empty for a while, but at the same time, don't make it, like, apparent to strangers, you know, that you're going to be gone for, like, a week or two or something. Like, don't just, like, it's kind of that gangster rule of, like, don't talk about shit. I've had to learn to shut up a few times, like, you know, like, I've thankfully I haven't had anything stole from me, like, you know, in terms of, like, intellectual property yet, because I'm sure that will happen eventually. But, like, I've had to learn to, like, as Owen says, not spill the beans and shit. Like, I've had to learn how to shut up about some of my ideas, because if you have something of value, then you have something worth stealing, you know? And it is one of those things where you run into, like, where it's like, if you're actually, like, creating stuff with your own hands and your own money and, like, and shit like that, like, and you're responsible for it all, man, your life becomes so much more stressful and difficult in so many ways. But at the same time, the level of, like, creative freedom and, like, freedom of routine and, like, I work for myself, I don't have a boss, all this shit, like, I can see, you know, like, I've had jobs, I've worked in warehouses and stuff, like, you know, like, I totally see the benefits, like, and the temptation to just have a 9-to-5 and engage in society. But, like, I really wish people would wake the fuck up and just realize that, like, community and, like, good, true and beautiful and doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff is where it really is at, you know? And to just, like, have a bit of faith in your fellow man and, like, not worry about money and, like, worry about things like personal integrity, the integrity of your soul, like, don't be a liar, don't be a cheat, like, all this, like, there's so many more important things than making money, you know? It's crazy how, like, financially and, like, materially obsessed our society is, you know? Like, what iPhone are we on now? Fucking number 16? And watch how many fucking NPC sheep are gonna be, like, outside of an iPhone store with an iPhone, recording somebody with a new iPhone, just being like, ah! Like, it's sad, man. Like, it's sad. Like, I do classical reproductions with contemporary reference. A lot of my work is political, anti-woke. Ah, you have come to the right stream, my friend. Like, you will like it here in PEINTEINGU. Man, I told you, like, I've been saying it for weeks now. The fucking the pendulum is swinging, the tide is shifting, you know? The fucking CEO of Sabre or whatever, when Space Marine came out there the other day, and he's like, I just want good games. I'm not into all of this political stuff. Like, you know, you just want to come home from work at the end of the day and be entertained. You don't want to have all this, like, political shit rammed down your throat. Like, it's the same with movies, it's the same with music, it's the same with games. Like, you know, it's all the same fucking shit. Nobody ever asked for all this gay psycho demon shit. And if they did, it's like, 0.0006666% of the fucking population. And they can go fuck themselves. Like, do you know what I mean? That doesn't mean we have to hunt them down and kill them, you know, because I know there's like mad repercussions to that shit karmically. But you can totally ostracize them, you know? You can totally fucking ostracize and banish and ban and, you know, mock. That's the best thing to do, is just mock the demon, mock the gay, mock the woke. Fucking like, because most of the shit they say and most of the shit they do is self-destructive anyway. So all you have to do is fucking wait a few years, and the tide turns, which it is, you know. The only thing we have to be careful with now is like, there's loads of people being like, yeah, we need to kill all the Jews. That'll fucking solve our problems. No, it won't. The Jews aren't your problems. You are your problem. You know, how you deal with life, your frequency, your attitude towards everything. Like, there's a lot of energy being expended right now because we spent the last 10, 15 years being told that we weren't allowed to say anything. We weren't allowed to say this. We weren't allowed, like, do this. We had to tolerate this. It's, you know, we have to be better and tolerate this and progressive this and, you know, racist, bigot, homophobe and fucking Karens and all that shit. All of that's coming to an end, which is great. But, I mean, if history's any fucking dictator of anything, like, something far more, you know, aggressive and evil is probably coming down the pipe, and I think we need, it would behoove ourselves to prepare mentally and spiritually and physically for what I could only imagine is like this, like, vastly superior evil. You know, the evil we've been dealing with is like fairly low tier in my mind. You know, it feels oppressive and it feels like all encompassing because it's very, like, you know, it's on all the screens, it's in all the TV shows, it's in the music, it's in the video games, like blah blah blah. Like, you're bombarded with it all the time. But to me, that's like a horde of orcs. Individually, they're powerless. You could like swat them aside. They're like, they're not a threat. But there's millions of them, so like it appears like a threat. But the real threat is Sauron. The real threat is, like, you know, the pinnacle of evil. And I have a weird feeling that that thing's actually gonna rear its head in the physical realm in the next few years. You know, I'm not a Christian. I don't believe all this like prophetic stuff, but like a lot of it has come true and a lot of it is right. So like, I'm kind of like, it would make sense energetically that how everything is gone. Like, for example, I think they're gonna say that Trump won in November. I think this is how it's gonna go. I think they're gonna say Trump won, so everyone goes, "Yay, Trump won!" And then within a few hours, or within like 24 hours or something, they're gonna go, "Oh no, we fucked up." Do you know, like, because the last time Trump lost, and they were like, they cheated. There's no way Trump lost. So a lot of people were pissed off because they're like, they're cheating, right? So how would you really get people angry? You would let him win, but then immediately pull it back, and then put somebody like Harris in or something. So like, you'd have them go, "We won, yay!" and then immediately demoralize them and deflate them. Immediately burst the balloon, saying that, like, you know, like, a gaslight the fuck out of them, saying that, like, you know, how could you possibly think that Trump won? Like, look at the numbers and stuff and all this shit, like, you know, and then you just like gaslight the whole fucking population. Like I have a feeling that like shit's gonna kick off in some places, you know, because like if you look at England the last few weeks or months, you know, like just, and then like all that shit that went down in France, people were losing their eyes and their hands because like, you know, the fucking the anti-riot people were just like shooting tear gas at them and shit. Like, you know, like shit's getting wild. But that doesn't mean that we should be like, oh no, the world's coming to an end. Like, that's why guys like that Fuentes lads suck. Is like, you know, they just bitch. They just complain. They don't go, yes, this is true, this is very evil, but this is what you can do about it. That's why I respect Owen, and that's why I'm a bear, and that's why I'm in the bear community, because like, he's not the only, he's one of the few. There are a few who I would consider like cultural vanguard, like Tom Barnett, Owen Benjamin, Chris Gardner, who'd be another one. Like there's loads of them that I don't know their names. Like there's loads of them out there, but those are just ones that I am like, if you know, vaguely affiliated with, or the ones I follow majorly. But there's a massive pendulum swing coming, and like that amount of energy has got to go somewhere. Like, you know, we need to be careful not to overcompensate, because there's going to be all these people that are like, you know, there's zealots on both sides, you know, and I'm the furthest thing from a zealot. Like I'm a professional piss taker, really, if anything. Like, never mind an artist. But like, it's really good to see stuff like Black Myth Wukong and Space Marine 2, and like, you know, fucking some political things happening, or like whatever, like, you know, some good movies coming out again and stuff like that. It's great to see that. But we have to be careful not to get caught up in the fervor of like, yes, the gays are losing. It's like, yeah, like, you know, relax. I mean, it was bound to happen. Now we have to deal with the next thing coming, like, you know. Like, that's how great men and great empires last, is you look ahead. You know, you plant the trees that you will not be in the shade of. So, like, if we're going to be like that, then we can't just be like, oh yeah, fucking, stuff's not woke anymore. Woohoo! You need to be like, okay, the tide is turning. What do we do now? That kind of shit, like. Oh, I'm 20 minutes over. The female's on her way home. Urfu was nuttier than squirrel crap. Lest we forget. Yeah, the elf lad was fucking like. I painted that fucker what was it again? Was it no, it was Vegemite, which is basically the same thing, isn't it? Like, I was gonna say Bovril. I painted that fucker a Vegemite painting. The nerve. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have completely lost touch with reality. That's very true. I'd love to give you a guided tour of my gallery. Well, like virtually? Or like literally? Are you from Ireland, are you? I mean, you said you were from Coolock. I'm in Tip. I'm living in Tip. Making fun of shit is the best way to go, because, like, you know, if you're afraid of something, then it has power over you. But if you can take the piss out of it, then it removes pretty much all of its power. You are the first artist I've come across in decades who speaks like you online. Like, I'm kind of not surprised, considering most of the shit that's out there. But domo for your comment. You honor me. Yeah, I agree, Macy. It is going to get worse before it gets better. It's always the darkest before the dawn. Indeed. And I don't think we've seen the worst of it yet. And that's not me being nihilistic, you know. If anything, part of me can't wait till they really try some really intense shit, because then we'll really get to see similar with the COVID stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was like pretty much the only person in my suburban housing estate. I was living in Lucan at the time, and I was pretty much the only person I knew or I saw on the daily that wasn't wearing a mask. And that, like, it was one of the craziest things that's ever happened in my life. Was going to the shop and like going to random places, like, do you know what I mean, and just looking around. Like, I was walking through Dundrum Shopping Centre, which is a huge shopping centre in Ireland. Really, like, you know, modern, very like posh. It's in an affluent area, and I strolled through that whole thing with the missus. She was wearing a mask. She was too scared, even though, like, I really tried to get her to, you know, be like, you know, I'm not wearing one. You don't need to wear one. Like, you know, everything will be fine. It's like, it's grand. Don't worry about it. She was just like, no, I can't deal. You know, so I didn't want to force her. So I was like, right, you wear the mask, you know, but I'm not wearing it. And we walked through the whole fucking shopping centre, and I spoke to like 3 or 4 security guards all the way through. Every single one of them came up to me. Not a single one of them looked at me and, like, you know, looked away. They all looked at me and they all walked over, and they were like, have you got a mask? And I was like, I can't wear them. And I was really specific about, like, because one of my friends, right, made the mistake of going into a shop without a mask, and they were like, have you got have you got a mask? You need to wear a mask. And he said no. And then they went to provide him with a mask, and he was like, you know, he didn't know what to do then, you know, so he just put the mask on. And I was like, no, like, you don't, like, that's what you fucked up there, like, because I was like, from the get-go, the first Securo that turned around to me, it was like, hey buddy, it was a black fella, with really poor English, which just makes it all more hilarious. Like, he was like, hey buddy, you need a mask. And I was like, I can't wear them. And I knew that, like, you know, legally and, like, specifically, I can't wear them, like, was way stronger of an argument and a way stronger of a position than just being like, I won't wear one, or no, or whatever, because they're arguing the medical angle. So you were better off arguing the medical angle back, or arguing a ideological or religious angle, because loads of people use that where we're like, where they were like, it's against my religion, or, you know, I can't do it because of my beliefs, or all this stuff. I just said I can't wear them, and that got me through the entire COVID, like, experience, which, when you think about it, is fucking hilarious, like, absolutely hilarious. That all I had to do was look people in the eye and be like, I can't wear them, and they were like, oh, okay, that's okay. So that shows you how, like, it's just an illusion. It's the illusion of authority. It's the illusion of power. It's the illusion of control. It's the illusion of tyranny, of, like, you know, all this fucking... You're not being oppressed. You're oppressing yourself. You're allowing your fear and your doubt and your lack of knowledge, and, like, the fear of the unknown, and all that, the fear of, you know, losing your social standing. What will my friends think? What will my parents think? Like, all this fucking... Fuck everyone. Fuck them all. If you cannot look yourself in the mirror and, like, love yourself to a degree, and be happy in your own fucking skin with the decisions that you make on the daily basis, like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you can't have that internal integrity, that genuine, congruent integrity between God, your soul, and you, and your thoughts, and your actions, if you don't have that integrity, then why give a fuck about what other people think about you? Because, like, you don't even agree with yourself, you know? So, like, where I come from is, I speak what I believe to be the truth. I behave in a manner that I believe benefits me and the people I care about and the people in my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I try to be a good bee in the hive if I have to be in a fucking hive. Like, do you know what I mean? And most people aren't like that. Most people act, even if they don't know it, out of fear. You know, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? But what if this happens? And blah, blah, blah. It's just fucking cowardice. And I know that sounds harsh, but that's what it fucking is, like. Yeah, one of the worst things you can do is stew about something that just happened or is happening. Because then you just stay in the... Like, don't get me wrong, the present is a gift. That's why it's called the present. And, like, you should be in the present and all that stuff. But if you... Yeah, because, like, you know, that's not staying in the present, because the present is like each happening moment, whereas people actually stay in the past. That's what it is people living in the past, even if it's 5 minutes ago. But you said this. It's like, but it's gone now. Nothing can be done, you know? So, like, you're here now. What are you going to do now? It's like... I have no problem with old school gays, really. Yeah, most people don't. You know, like, I recently had a conversation with a guy that was like this, because I was like, you know, the fucking fag flags and all the fucking shops, man, it's ridiculous, like, you know, and he was like, oh, you're against all that stuff, are you? And I was like, fuck yeah, you know, now don't get me wrong, I'm not going to go gay bashing or anything, it's just, leave the fucking kids alone, like, and he was like, no, yeah, you're dead right, the stuff going on in the schools is a fucking joke, man, like, do you know? And it's like, that's how most people think, do you know what I mean? like it's just because people like me are willing to say it out loud doesn't mean I'm an extremist. It just means that I'm like not a fucking coward. Like, but I'm not trying to infer that people who keep their mouth shut are cowards, you know, because that's not like a logical that's not a logical conclusion. Like, do you know what I mean? That it's just, I get why people like, because I will admit to being a bit crazy. So like, I'll totally admit to having a bit of an edge to me. Like, do you know what I mean? But I choose to embrace that because I've seen the result of not doing that. And I understand why most people just go along to get along. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. So it's not like I have like hatred or resentment for my fellow man because they're all fucking cowards. That's not true. You know? It's definitely how I felt during COVID, but it's not true. In the tip of Tipperary. Oh, Jesus. I know. Like how funny it was. Like, I literally live in Tip. And it's also funny because like that's why I love wordplay, you know, because tip is actually slang for like a dump or like a really a really dirty area. You could say like, oh, my room's a tip right now, or my house is a tip right now, like, you know, or oh, I wouldn't go to that dude's house. His house is a tip. Like, I just think that's so funny. Why won't that work? Oh, there we go. Fear is the mind killer. Somebody's seen Dune. I need to watch part 2. I need to watch part 2 of Dune. Oh, there's the female. You well, my love? Don't you fucking make your own cup of tea. I'm fucking entertaining people. All 6 of them. What? Yeah, well, you better make yourself tea then. I'm not the one who has a match. You have a match. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm great.
I know you're great in loads of ways, but there's loads of other ways that you're really fucking not great. Fuck. Right. I'm going to catch up on chat and then I have to call it a day. If you have enjoyed today's Paintingu, consider paying for Paintingu. Link in description. Memes are the new genre in art. Yeah, memes are so powerful. Memes are so fucking powerful. I love them. They're like a way of if you look at like, you know, if you look at the zeitgeist and like, you know, people's like culture and what everyone's talking about. If you look at it all like code that has been corrupted and none of it makes any sense anymore and it's all bullshit, a good meme can like... What?
I can't believe you ate all the jambons.
What do you mean? There was only 3 left. I made the jambons there the other day and we got 3 each. And then I had the other 3. What the fuck do you mean? I can't believe you ate all the jambons.
Yeah. I can't believe
I didn't eat all the jambons.
Oh,
you had 3 of them. You want to get technical about this?
That were left. There's nothing for me to have now before my match.
Oh, God love you.
Yeah, God love
You can't have a bit of toast.
Yeah.
Do you know there's 3 bits of bacon in the grill that I fucking left there for you?
Oh, well done for telling me. Well done.
Yeah. What about that? What about the 3 bits of bacon? Huh?
Well done.
Yeah. Fucking bitch. Where am I? They don't work anyway. The particles just go through. Oh yeah, don't even get me started about like what illness is and like viruses and stuff like that. Like, it's hilarious. Like, pretty much everything you were told during your time in school or college is like, it's at least like 80% bullshit. Like, oh, glorious. Oh, glorious. Citrus. Owen Benjamin said it best, only criminals and perverts wear masks. Which one are you, pal? Yeah, I fucking love that one. That's what wasn't that in the post office or something? I can't remember. Like, I love that one. Where's your mask? Like, do I look like a criminal? Like, That's like his rhetoric is just amazing. Whatever, like his comedy's hilarious as well. He's an excellent comedian, but some of his rhetoric is just fucking gold. Yeah, people totally get stuck in the past. I was like that for a few years. I was stuck in my trauma. I had loads of like really bad family shit happen to me, and then stuff with my friends, and like, you know, my first major girlfriend and stuff like that, and all, like, and I fucking spiraled into hell. I can't remember specifically what ring of hell I was in. I'll have to consult Dante on that one. But somebody has a paid for paintingu! Glorious! Ooh, it's a big one. That's a big tip. Giggity. Yeah, exactly. Leave the kids alone. Demon Hunter Beru. Here's to keeping Defenderu on his diet of meat and... Bedatus? I've never seen it spelt like that. That's fucking brilliant. Bedatus. I'd say, man, I'm gonna spell it like that from now on. That is actually hilarious. Like, the first thing I thought of was like, are you trying to say Batiatus? Like, what the fuck? Like your man's name from fucking, what's that thing? Spartacus? Oh, that's brilliant. Bedatus. Oh, will it show up on screen if I do that again? Oh, it's tiny. You can barely see it. Badaytas. Bedatus. I have found my new favorite way of spelling potatoes. No, but it's easier to be silent, but at such a cost. Yeah, like, you know, but that's what it is, isn't it? Is silence can be seen as what is it? Consent. If you say nothing, they take that as like a consent, you know, which is like, I get why they do that, but it's so dark, you know, where it's like, well, it's like if you rape a woman and you turn around and go, like, somebody goes, oh my god, you raped that woman, and you turn around and you're like, she didn't say no and she didn't fight back, you know, like, that right away you're kind of like, hold on a minute, like, so what? Like, you know, because like any dude who's like, you can tell if a woman wants you, do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I've come across, like, in my teenage years, there was like a lot of shyness and stuff where you would have to like kind of like gamble, or like, does she want me to kiss her, or what's going on right now? I don't know, like, you know, like, I'm feeling a vibe here, but I'm confused, like, and stuff, like, you know, and that's why you can take a risk, but like, you don't take that kind of risk and just like force yourself on her. You like hold her hand, put like, you know, fucking touch her, or like, you know, like give her a peck on the cheek, or like prolonged eye contact, like, you know, something like gaugeable, like, you know, like the fact that I even have to, like, I'm not saying I have to, but like the fact that stuff like this is spoken about a lot, like how to spot a narcissist, fucking like the level of lies in society, like, you know, why don't people know how to do this anymore, why hookup culture is so fucked up, why men are in so much pain and misunderstood, why women are so, like, you know, fucking crazy these days. It's because it's all based on lies, and it's because it's all fucking, like, you know, the fear and the lies have gotten to such a degree that people have forgotten, like, how to understand fundamental body language. And the fucking poor kids in the last few years, with all the adults wearing masks, you know, oh man, the fucking psychological damage of that shit, where like they're not trained to like notice like fucking facial cues and stuff, like, it's mad. Like, it's like, we have so much work ahead of us. We really do. We have so much work ahead of us in terms of like having a ton of kids, building a lot of fences and walls, you know, like, you know, building libraries again, like, do you know what I mean? Like, we have to like consolidate truth again and like guard it again, which is cool. And it's like, you know, if you look at it in the right way, it's like, you know, I am honored to be among you, those who protect and, you know, instill the ideology of the good, true, and beautiful. Like, it's an honor to be among people who want the good, true, and the beautiful, you know, and recognize the good, true, and the beautiful. But it's an incredible responsibility, and it is tiring, And it's frustrating. And dealing with demons can be fucking, you know, exhausting. And all this fucking shit, like. But it's fucking worth it. It's absolutely worth it. This was fun. I'll be back. Welcome, Emmanuelu, to Paintingu. Domo for attending. I subbed and shared. Congratulations, your life has just acquired its first schizo follower. Aha! That's where you're wrong, nigga. Like, you're like, if only you knew. That's hilarious. You actually seem alright. Oh, that's gas. We'll see. We'll see. Bacon. Oh yeah, tell me about it. I had a fucking like what did I put on it? Vintage white cheddar cheese, soft cheese, like spreadable cheese, soft cheese, barbecue sauce, and it was on toasted sourdough. Have a bit of that. Mayu gets it. It does appear that Mayhem Maceyu gets it too. Yeah, Spartacus was a good show. Way too much sex, and the gore was over the top and sometimes cringe at how fake it was, but it was an excellent show. I love your man, fucking Batiatus. Some of his dialogue is like really fucking funny. I can't exactly remember like what he says about that bitch, but she walks into the room one time, and he's like, "Ah, the snake walketh upright as if two-legged," or something like. It's fucking brilliant. A kite rises against the wind. I like that one. One of my favorite like parables or sayings ever is that Chinese one, the one that Owen said on stream, where it's like, or was it Chris Gardner who said it on Owen's stream? I can't remember, but it's like this Chinese farmer, his horse goes missing, and everyone is like, "Oh no, that's so unfortunate, poor you," and he's like, "Yeah, maybe." A few days later, horse comes back, and they're all like, "Oh my god, that's great! Your horse came back. That's so wonderful." And he's like, "Yeah, maybe." And then his son comes of age or something, or his son. His son breaks his leg, and they were like, "Oh my god, no, that's so bad. You know, that's so unfortunate." He's like, "Yeah, maybe." And then the fucking CCP show up or whatever and conscript everybody, but they can't take him or his son because his son is injured, and he's too old. So they don't get conscripted. So everyone's like, "Oh, it's just as well your son was injured because he didn't get conscripted. That's a blah blah. That's so good, you know. You're blessed by the gods and all this crap." And he's like, "Yeah, maybe." And like it just keeps going like that, where he's like, everyone keeps inferring that something that happened is good or bad, but he keeps going. He keeps being like, "Yeah, well, maybe," because like you don't know yet, because like something happens and then something else. Like life keeps happening. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you're in the present. Now you're in the present. Now you're in the present. Now you're in the present. So, like, what just happened can easily be deduced, you know, through opinion and observation to be good or bad. But we don't actually know yet. And that's why, like, I get when, Owen is right when he turns around. He's like, all things are good. Like, it's all in God's plan. So even if you look at something... Oh, did you make me coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Is that going to be used against me later? Yeah? Okay. All the shit I use against you is supposed to be used against you. You don't know the whole. Phrasing. Like, you don't know the whole of the matter. You only know bits, you know? So if you start, like, making in the moment judgments of whether or not something is good or not, like, don't get me wrong, somebody brutally murders your wife and children, you can call that bad, especially in the moment, but technically you don't know if that horrific trauma is supposed to happen to you, so you end up doing something like amazing, you know? So like that's where I kind of look at, like, I do look at, like, the meta consciousness of things, where it's like, or meta awareness, where because all of this stuff is happening simultaneously, you never know when something is, like, right around the corner, you know? So that's why faith and patience are important. Like, patience is, like, one of the biggest virtues, because it, like, you know, most shit worth anything takes a bit. You know, a really good cup of coffee takes a few minutes to fucking do that. A painting takes a few hours at least, like, do you know what I mean? Unless you're one of them real slick Indian fuckers who can do it on the side street with a can of graffiti and some glass in like 62 seconds. Like, do you know, props to them niggas. But like, anything worth anything takes some time. And the reason why a lot of the shit is so bad these days is because of the amount of shortcuts and the amount of decisions made out of fear and like a sinful desire, whether it be lust or wrath or gluttony or sloth or all that shit. Like, man, read the fucking Bible. I don't care if you're religious. Don't just read the Bible. Read all the religious texts. Like, you know, I haven't. I've listened to a lot of shit. I'm not a big reader. But I'm telling you now, you know, like, there is a ton of truth and a ton of, like, really good life lessons in most of the esoteric, biblical, religious, spiritual texts. Will teach you better shit than school and college ever did. I disagree. I liked the sex. Or, like, yeah, fair enough. Like, you know what I mean? I used to watch a ton of porn. I haven't in years. We all love a bit of sex, yeah? Like, let's speak honestly. But it's like, it's not good to have it in like a TV show or like porn or anything. Like, you know, the porn's a weapon. Porn is bad. The visualization of, like, you know, sexual interactions between people, like, just like frivolously and carelessly, wantonly thrown about. You know, there's way too much sex in public. There's way too much sex in public. And this is coming from a guy who really likes having sex with his female for the past 10 years and used to watch a ton of porn. Believe you me, it's not a good thing. It's like a fucking weapon. And I'm speaking from experience. Watched a ton of porn and I haven't done it in years, and I way better. Way fucking better. The Almighty makes beautiful things out of us when we allow it. Yeah, man. I'm an example of it. You know, like, I would still be sitting around playing video games 8 hours a day, smoking weed and shit, like, and I still smoke, I still drink occasionally, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I'm a fucking, you know, like, perfect little boy, you know, and shit like that. Like, you know, I'm not a fucking Boy Scout or anything. Like, I'm definitely not. Like, I mean, for fuck's sake, look at one of my logos. Like, one of my logos is this little demon dude. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, one of the characters I created is literally a little, like, colorful demon thing holding a halo on a string, you know? So, like, I am very aware of the fact that, like, you know, the line of good and evil runs across my heart just like everyone else's, like, you know? I'm very aware of that. And I think that's what gives me so much energy most of the time, even though I'm fucking exhausted half the time. It's knowing that I've made the right choice after years of making the wrong ones is really motivating, you know? Too many people getting liposuction instead of just exercising, take the easy route instead of making effort. And it's the same in everything. Working out is uncomfortable, especially if you're not fit, you know? So you have to get through, you have to push through that threshold and get to that milestone, that checkpoint of, like, you are now fit moderately, you know, for it to actually feel good to exercise. And even then, when you, like, do it properly, it's uncomfortable and painful. But it's supposed to be. It's what makes you better. It's what makes you grow, you know? Which is why, you know, there is an argument that, like, all of this shit is done simply just to test you and to see if you, are you wheat or are you chaff, you know? What are you made of? James Earl Jones reading the Bible is a good place to start if you want to crack at a Bible. And oh my god, James Earl Jones did a reading of the Bible? That's fucking amazing. That's brilliant. Right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I can hear the female sighing in the background that she's not happy with me. That's not why you're sighing. You're just stressed? Okay. Alright. Well, I'll finish now and try and alleviate your stress. Not in a sexual way. I didn't mean it like that. I'm made of farts and sprinkles. Jesus Christ. It would probably be better to describe yourself as just you are etheric. You're etheric in nature. Right. Much love, my beloved Japanites, and Emmanuel, and that potato guy. I don't know. Was he even here today? I haven't a clue. I will be back tomorrow we're doing the Conanator tomorrow. So 3 o'clock tomorrow, 3 p.m. GMT. I don't know what other fucking times. 3 p.m. GMT tomorrow, we're doing the Conanator. So we'll be playing a lot of metal. And we'll be painting this fucker. You! With your 48% body fat! Fuck you! Right, so I'll see you then. Much love, and do not forget to be good, be true, and be beautiful.